All right, guys, today we've got a simple repair for you. We're in a 2015 Chevrolet Sonic, and we're looking at the Sunvisor here. And what we've got is a problem here where the mirror has fallen off. Now, what happens on these after a while is there's two tabs here at the bottom that kind of fit into a recess area. But on the top, there's two clips. And after a long time of being exposed to these heat and cold cycles with the roof, this plastic just gives up the ghost and lets go, and then you come up here to pull this down and it just breaks off. Now, this particular kind of problem here, unfortunately, this is not repairable in and of itself. GM doesn't service just this piece, and no kind of glue or adhesive is going to last subject to the kind of heat and cold cycles that the roof is going to be going through. So what you're going to have to do is replace the assembly, and that's what I'm just going to show you today and show you some part numbers so you know what to do on this particular model vehicle. Let's get this guy off first, and then I'll show you some of that. So it's held in by just two T15 fasteners, here and here, one here and one here. We're going to want to release it from the holder here so we can get access to those. We're just going to come in with a T15, take these two guys out, and then we get this one out. We can swing it forward and get this one out. And then with the two screws off, we can take this guy out. Now you can see even with the screws out, he doesn't quite let go. And there's a kind of a base here that has to be manipulated. And probably before I pull it, let me just show you an example on the new one so you see what's going on here, what's holding it on besides just the screws. So we're going to elect to do a new one of these rather than a salvage yard one. Of course, that'll be an option too. And a new one for the passenger side is a 4247 8247 from GM. I'll put a link to this in the description along with the one for the driver's side. All right, so just to kind of give you an idea what we're looking at here, right? So there's more to this than just the screws. And, by the way, the new one comes with two new screws. So you've got this locator pin, and then you've kind of got this little hanger. So I haven't done one of these before, but I suspect from looking at this setup, it's going to be a deal where you kind of push it up and move it forward to kind of get this guy on. But the main problem are these two side clips here and here. And these guys are going to be attaching on to something that's mounted on the roof. And that's what's currently holding this guy right now. So before I stop to show you this, what I was trying to do is sometimes this can be broken. And you can give it a little short tug. And if if it's one of those cases, it'll just come off. But that's not the case here. So we got two good clips. So how do we get these off? Well, I got two tools I'm going to try to use to solve this problem. I've got a little pick that's got a couple of degree bends in it. You could also use like a 45-degree bend pick. And what I'm hoping I can do is I can come in like this, and I can twist it up, right? And release what this guy's held onto, and then come over and do the same thing over there. Another tool that I've got as a backup tool that might work is this little baby pry bar. Come in like this and give it a lift up like that. So between one of these two tools, we should be able to get this going. So let me get all this stuff out of the way, and let's take a look at the service manual, and then we'll try it. Just a quick shot from the service manual for what we're doing here. Just a single page, right? It's just important to notice for the torque value, 22 inch-pounds when we get the fasteners in. And then you can see the procedure is just listed simply to squeeze the tabs at the base to remove the sunshade from the headliner. And then on some models, there will be an electrical connector if the visor mirror is lighted. All right, so when the service manual talks about squeezing in the clips, it's talking about these two side ones that we were talking about. You'll notice there's a little notch here. And this notch lets you know that the clip is here. And then directly on the opposite side, the clip is here. So I kind of move this guy out of the way, right? The clip is here. Now you don't have a lot of clearance on this side. You'd have to come in at an angle. So I'm going to come in and try to do this side first. So I'm going to start with this little pry tool because probably most people would have that more likely. So I'm just going to kind of push up on it while I slide this guy in. And then I'm going to see if I can feel that kind of thing detent on us. There it goes. All right. So that one's off. It wasn't broken. That's it letting go. So now we got to get this guy off without letting the other one slide back in. And I don't know how. You guys are going to have to watch right through this little space here. Trying to feel for this clip right now. There it is. Now I'm trying to get it to let go. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep this side from reclipping. So I'm kind of pulling and pushing at the same time. There. All right, feels like I got it, but maybe not. It's a pisser just to get a Sunvisor off, right? All right. So you guys can't see anything. We definitely have this side off, but for some reason the other side is being real stubborn. It keeps like re-snapping back on. All right, I think both of these side clips are off. And I think what we're working on now is that triangular prong. Now, I was hoping that the deal with that would be something where we just pushed it forward. Let's see. As you can see, we've got these two off. That may mean that we have to actually come under here, and so I'll give you an idea of what we're trying to do here. All right, so we've released this and we've released this, but now we're hung up on this. So now I got to figure out how I can come in here and give a squeeze here and give a squeeze here, and that should free it up. So for this one, I'm probably going to need two tools. Just try to look at the replacement, get an idea where this guy is. So he's right in line with the bar, so he should be right about there. And also, you know, you're trying to make sure you don't damage the headliner while you're doing all this too. I tell you guys, not sure what the engineers were thinking when they came up with this one. All right, so what I might try to do here is get a different tool so I can come up here and squeeze this from both sides. Let me try a different kind of a tool, but we're almost there. All right, guys, I just wanted to kind of move this out of the way to show coming in with this other tool that I grabbed, and it kind of just moved on me. So it might just be a case where you just got to give it kind of a twist. I don't know. Let me just try to see that first. Yep, there it is. So didn't even need another tool. So what you got to do after you get these two side clips released, get the two side clips released, turn the mirror like this, and then just kind of prise it off, and this guy lets go. That's great, because we would have never found anything, I don't think, that would have nicely fit in there. All right, and so the clips that we were after here, you know, again, looking at it like this guy, and this guy, these are fixed. What we were trying to do was we were trying to move this part that's flexible and this part that's flexible, right? That's what we were trying to do. And so now with all that out of the way, putting the new one in is just a matter of lining these guys back up, clicking it in. If you remember in the service manual, it told us that we want to put this into 22 inch-pounds. Now if you don't have a screwdriver with a torque on it, that's okay. You can just snug it up. Put this guy to 22 inch-pounds. And we'll put this guy to 22 inch-pounds. And with that, this job will be complete. So, overly complex type of mount, in my opinion. But that gives us our operation back, and of course now our mirror is going to be working okay, just fine, right? So job's done. We'll put links in the description again for the passenger side as well as the driver's side on this. And just as you're doing this, guys, just go slow and be gentle, because as we saw, it's a fairly complicated attachment system. And so you don't want to, if you're just taking this off to get the headliner, you obviously don't want to break these off or you won't be able to remount it. And if you're trying to do what we did here, you don't want to break the little white tabs that grab onto these guys as part of getting this off. Anyway, I hope this helps you out. If you got comments or questions, leave them below and I'll try to help. If you found this video useful and it saved you some money, go ahead and hit that like button and pay it forward. And as always, thanks for watching.